Hey everybody, welcome to this channel. So it's around 20th day and we are here to sabotage your that's prejudice mentality or something like that. And we are here with a charming and delightful way or personality. As you can see, even that appearance is not as seems precise, but we are here how really uh, in a protean way, and we have to be always, and you have to harbor all these things within you. If once you say everything, and if you come to share all these kinds of secret things among the people, and that way you will be just a person like how uh, like I can say even a little more about it, but you will just seen as how scapegoat person. So don't be stay as a, you mustn't have to be that kind of person like who's scabby gut. And if you are, then you can just simply come out from that personality, or even you are assumes yourself as being that kind of person, then just stop seeing yourself in that way and assuming about yourself. You have some simplicity, or that kind of things and principle, or even your own rules can lead yourself towards positivity, and towards your somewhere where you can find yourself with positivity. So everything is really appreciating here if you can able to do these things in a proper way. So that's why how can you assume these things and your days if actually you are struggling in your on your actions, in your life, and that way you'll sacrifice your struggle, your everything, your consistency, your dedication, your persistency, your perseveration, and also your conscientiousness. Everything will be really luminous and sparkling, and you'll get the prize for this all these things that you are actually uh, paying off for that things. So that's it. So that's the journey, this is the journey of life. And if you can able to uh, hard work and like a diligent person, and that way you'll become man, and transforming yourself from a boy into a man. And that's actually matters in your life. And learn to be like a man, not to, even if you are a boy at this time, you might not have enough values and self-respect, and self-confidence. But at this time, this is the time to get aware, to be aware, to just chase our goals, our aims, motives. If you don't gonna chase, and if you're just following just traditional approaches, beliefs or convictions, something like that, or some so in that way you are just chasing. That's really unpleasant and hideous things. In this, if you go through this way, and that way you won't get anything really lucrative or something like that. So if you want to get something really precise, or really how luminous or stunning, dazzling in your life, in that way learn, you must have to research, you have to oversee, you have to monitor, you have to analyze, you have to analysis. Your analysis really matters for the obtainment of that kind of thing. So attainment may be hard or tough, can be tough, but whatever you are gonna achieve in your life, that will teach you a lot in your life. And that kind of what learning and instructing type and way has another kind of distinct kind of learning and experience you can ever feel, you can ever experience. You can't experience that kinds of thing or from your past times, or even you are struggling and you are just, when you are just staying as a useless and unemployed person, in that way you are actually what capable, you have the capabilities or enable to get something, and you actually deserve this kinds of uh, everything like respect, your prestige, reputation, from your family, and even in a community. You are deserves, you are to be like that kind of person, but you are not actually getting these all these things. Having being a literate, or uh, educated and qualified person, but your value is zero in a community, in a society, or in the market. So firstly, you must have to focus only on skills. So if you have a good skills, in that way you will have everything. And if you don't have it, these kinds of things like skills, really you must have to just focus on a particular area or something like that. Or if you don't, if you're not focusing, and you are not chasing, you are just staying all the time at home, and you are just scrolling only reels, one by one, and that way your life is gonna totally ruin. All these things seems here how really destructive, because as you can see here, don't you think about your career, have you ever haven't you ever think about your past, what kind of things you had experienced, and you must have to know, you must have to learn even a little thing from that kind of things, or something like that, and I don't want to say here more thing, if I'm going to express and share these kinds of all these kinds of necessary things one by one, in that way all these things seems like how worthless, or it can be also useless for you. In this way you assume, and you are gonna assume, but the reality is actually different. Somehow you are actually listening, you are hearing everything from my channel and through this channel, but what about your uh, rationalization, you know if you are actually getting each and every knowledge, wisdom through this channel, in that way that's actually precise things, and it shows that you are actually in a proper way or appropriate way path. Otherwise, on the other hand, if you are just listening, and your attention is somewhere where it hasn't done, it mustn't has to be, but you are in that way, what your attainment will be zero, you can't get anything, and that in that way. So this is ever hurting and really regretful moment for you. Even it's not at this time, but it will become one day, and you will feel how really you can't even think about your mental pressure or something like that. And if you are not struggling for the attainment of your objectives, your motives, your purpose, so you are not even going to and moving forward ahead with proper strategy, or proper vision. You have no visions and you have no aims, so in that way you are aimless. You are actually considered, you'll be considered as you are actually aimless person, and you will also be assumed and recognized as that kind of person, and you consider in that just like an unemployed person. In that way no one come to know about even a little thing about you. Everybody will be busy in their own work, and even you comes to suffer from your mental pressure, your physical disease, or any kind of thing, nobody come to care about you, nobody. You can't even imagine what kind of situation and difficulties and troubles can what appear in your life, this is the life, what everything can. Nobody knows about their future, prediction sometimes seems just normal, and sometimes we get involved in and engage really a complex and complicated situation, but somewhat we feel really how really tough mentally and physically, but we have to convince ourselves, and we must have to go forward ahead with this mentality, being a very how dearful person. Only in that way you can gain everything from your life, and this and you are actually assuming